His jokes are terrible. His puns should be banned. But yet, somehow, every barbecue is better when he stands. Besides the grill declaring, "That's not burnt, that's flavor," like some suburban superhero neighborhood meat saver. I have one.
I got one over here.
And we're not talking about opinions. What are we talking about?
Talking about fathers.
Fathers! Here's opinion. I would love Travi to take ownership of that horrible poem, but I just said, "Oh, I want to have a really quick poem."
But AI wrote it.
AI wrote it. Okay, I'm going to admit that. I'm going to be straight up. How are you, buddy?
Well, I'm great, man. We just had a great Father's Day weekend. I'm a dad.
I'm
you're
a dad, and we have opinions. You have opinions, and we all. My understanding. What is it? The statistic: 96 or 97% of humans have fathers.
Yeah, I believe that's correct. Yeah,
Is that
approximately
right around that thing? So we
that
figured
they know of.
that they know about. But that brings us to where we're talking about. Of course, is fathers. Now, I just got back from a little trip prior to the Father's Day weekend, and you were on a trip too, right?
I did. My family, we went down to the Keys.
Tell us, how'd that go, man?
It was great. It was beautiful weather. We lucked out. We went on a boat, had slides on it. My family, my wife's family.
Slides. Explain that. What do you mean?
The boat had slides. It was a double-decker pontoon
it was like
with
a pontoon.
slides
Okay,
coming
I
off the
got
back.
you.
Yeah, we went and docked out in a sandbar. It was awesome. Yeah.
And you have the best. Yeah, and I'm going to talk about this later. You take your kids and you give them so many of these memories. I wanted to bring back something for you because I know you're a great dad.
You got me something?
I got you something, actually. Well, yeah, from Italy. And it was something that I walked past it, and not only me, but my lovely wife, she's like, "Oh, that's what you got to get." And it's going to be a gift that you can, it's like, it keeps on giving the entire year.
All year long?
And it's the fathers, the priests that are in the schools there.
It's a calendar.
It's a Catholic priest calendar. There we go. Show that. There you go. Let me have to pop it up here so you can see. There you go.
Look at this guy. Look at this stud.
So and a little bit higher so everybody can see the bottom of it. And loosely translated, that is, it says Roman calendar.
Oh, Roman calendar. Okay. So it has...
His name is not Roman.
No. Romano.
Ray Romano.
Okay, it's a 12-month calendar.
There you go.
2027.
Yeah,
so I got this to look forward to.
You can actually use whatever calendar you have now.
These are actual priests?
These are priests. Now, I want to tell okay, see February, the second guy?
This guy.
Okay, for some reason, I guess my wife and I, we were talking about it, and social media heard me saying it. Seriously, you know how things will start popping up?
Yeah.
So I see this thing about that guy right there.
Okay.
He speaks very fluent English, and he is not a priest. He didn't finish school. So when he took the picture, he was wanting to do this.
Okay.
And he says he's smiling in that picture because behind him, the camera guy, there was a bunch of his friends all laughing at him and everything. And he had no idea that he would be on the calendar. Now, he was last year's, or this year's, I could say, 2026 calendar guy. And they go, how can we look how? I mean,
his name is Febrero.
I think that's the month.
No. Okay, maybe.
It does sound like an Italian name.
It does. Hey.
So he was on the cover of 2026, and they go, wow, this guy's so hunky.
Look at November.
November's up sad.
He's sad boy.
Kind of hold that in a little bit here?
Yeah.
So we can, he's not feeling very good about this. But he's the guy that's on the 26th, and they go, how can we beat this? How can we have a more hunkier priest? And then you turn it around.
This guy.
This
dude's looking like Glenn Powell holding the cat. I mean, he's like a dreamboat.
Yes.
But the thing is, he's celibate, right? They take vow of celibacy.
They do.
So that's what almost makes him more attractive, probably. That he's unattainable.
I think.
Ladies can't have it.
I think you're 100% right.
But
anyway.
this is great. Thanks, man.
Absolutely. So I want you to think about that every day of the year. Okay?
I can't wait to put this up.
All right,
I'm gonna put them over here.
Keep that where you like. All right, now I'm looking forward. What did I get from the Florida Keys?
I knew we were going to talk about fathers, and I didn't. I actually got you something because I feel very fatherly.
Yeah.
Today, I got this tie on.
Oh, now it makes sense.
So
I thought you were trying to.
I thought I would give you a tie to wear so you can kind of get in the father zone.
Okay, I can buy this.
Get in the dad zone. I mean, you got to dress the part, you know.
I look like I'm the lead singer of Cheap Trick.
Yeah, there you go.
Steve, fellas, you want to go out and play?
Not to be outdone though, because we need another dad. It's not we can't
we
just
need
be
is
the
a
two of
good
us.
dad,
Yeah.
a really like a guy that just like, does everything for his kids, and I think
who has kids, more kids than he can count.
that he knows about.
A big friend of ours, a big guy, the Big Papa, James Alexander.
And
what's up, buddy?
do you love it when we call you Big Papa?
Yeah, man, I'm just thinking about that calendar. You know, it's always good to see the priest along with some pussy cats.
Right?
Pussy cats.
Pussy
Don't
cats.
get it confused. Pussy cats.
No.
You know, no lawsuits with the pussy cats.
Yeah. That's as close as you're gonna get.
I think that's why they did it. To be honest with you. I think there's a pun in there. Let's. All right, James, you want to throw a tie on
I want
there?
to
man,
induct
I'll
you
throw
into
a
the
tie.
Dad Hall of Fame with the tie. You
There
gotta join us.
I need brighter colors next time.
Yeah, and I had my mommy tie that for me.
Well, you know what? You won't ever really get that honor, do you? Yeah.
What?
About tying a kid, teaching your kid how to.
Yeah,
your son
I'm
how
a
to
girl
touch it.
dad.
You're a girl dad. Yeah.
I have a 16-year-old, 14-year-old daughters, and so I don't have a son to tie ties. And honestly,
You did well on
I
mine.
taught myself.
Oh, you did?
I taught
Was it
myself how to tie.
YouTube University or
No, this was before
Boy
YouTube.
Scouts?
Yeah.
Oh,
Way
wow.
before YouTube.
Okay. You know,
I worked at a department store, men's clothing
Oh, you did
section.
really?
Yeah, I just stood up at the front and was folding the shirts, and then I started getting ties and taught myself to pass the time.
So
yeah.
you didn't
wow.
like look at how to do it? There's like Windsor's.
No,
That's a
I
single
probably
Windsor.
should because I don't know how to do it very well.
There are like 1,000 different ways to tie
Yeah.
a tie.
I
and make it
pre-tied these
stand
for
out.
you.
Yeah, man. Mitch's dad did my genealogy. You talk
Oh,
about fathers,
that's true,
right?
yeah.
Right? He said, you said, I remember, you said your dad asked, was I white or black? Because I had a whole bunch of, a mix, some black, white, and Asian. So I had
that's a true
a whole
story.
bunch of white people in my family. Irish was like had to come to learn and understand.
Sure.
But he asked me that question, and I was like, wow, because if you look at a lot of people in my family, a lot of them are fair. They can pass for white.
Okay.
Then you have, people who are a little bit like me and darker, who, so it's on both sides. So you have the long hair and so on and so forth. And I was just thinking about that, and that made me
I
learn about
forgot
the
about
church.
that, yeah.
Because the church also, there are a few 3-letter agencies in the U.S. who adopted what your church did. Because when you go on missions,
Yeah.
you have to learn the language. So the 3-letter
right.
agencies, we're going to get tagged in this one, took how the church taught the missionaries, because the missionaries were able to learn the language within weeks.
Absolutely.
They didn't have to have years. They learned the language within weeks and were able to speak it fluently.
You go to what they call a missionary training center, and for like if you're going to learn another language, you're there for like 8 weeks. If you're just going to English, you get like 3 weeks, and they just teach you how to be a missionary and that sort of thing. And a matter of fact, they recruit a lot of
Yes.
ex-missionaries because
Yep.
they're fluent in the language, and they have a steady lifestyle and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
So you're right, and I totally forgot about it. I'm
Yeah,
glad
man.
you remembered
See,
that. My dad
Talking
loved
about
doing
dads.
genealogy.
Yeah,
My
man.
dad loved it, man.
They got yours too, bro. Don't even think you know.
Yeah. Okay. I would love it.
Well, now with the internet, you can go
Yeah.
online and do a lot,
Yeah.
but you can go to any LDS church and they have a genealogy. Anybody's allowed to go
Yeah.
in there if you want to go and find like documents and that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But again,
Yeah.
anything's more like
It's dope.
now online you could be able to get. So
Yeah.
there you go. Well,
wanna learn your
you know
history?
a little bit about your father and
Yeah, you guys covered the Heavenly Father.
Yeah,
We
right.
should do a whole episode on religion, maybe.
all right, yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
Your
love that.
fathers,
Yeah.
fathers,
Yeah.
fathers, fathers, fathers,
Yeah.
fathers.
Well, we celebrated Father's Day over the weekend,
man.
and you had a good time.
Yeah, I had a great time doing training with my son and
Okay.
other kids, man. Because we have what we call Thrive football training. So we train like 20 some odd kids. We go offense, offensive line, defensive line, receivers, and all that stuff. Linebacker. So he plays linebacker. So that was my weekend.
Yeah.
You missed it before you came in today, before we taped this episode. He was out there with Little Man, and they were going over some plays and stuff. And
Yeah.
I like the dichotomy between y'all two because
Right.
he doesn't go, okay, Dad, okay.
Right.
He kind of challenges because he
but
doesn't understand.
He's a defensive guy,
Yeah.
and it is what it is. But I already tell him, the most important thing in football, a lot of people don't know, football is nothing but geometry. It's nothing
Yeah.
but angles, right?
Right.
So it's angles and leverage. If you can create a great leverage, man, you can score at any time. So we spent a couple of hours with my offensive coordinator today, just kind of going over the base offense, the calls that are made and why, this is the thought process. Because I'm the new head JV coach.
Oh, yeah, we gotta talk about
for
that.
Lake Mary.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude.
So now I have to create an offense that makes sense with the kids that I have, the personnel that I have. So I'm sitting there and Yo, man, it's a lot. A lot of people don't realize it's so much.
Now, you're a hands-on dad, but imagine if you had a boy that was that's going to play ball. How do you have you dealt with any fathers already of like, why aren't you playing my boy enough?
Oh yeah. We had it last year. A lot of parents have this. Yeah, my kid's a superstar. No, he's not.
Entitlement.
Well, it's not even entitlement. It's like everyone believes their kid's a superstar.
Yeah,
and that is not the case. You know, what you do with him in the backyard does not necessarily translate to the field, right? So when we're out there, we're seeing what they can do. Sometimes they're the slowest guy on the field. They may be the fastest guy, but you could be the fastest guy on the field and miss every tackle that we put you in position to make. So it's just trying to train the kids. Like when you're at the freshman and JV level, you're developing. We're trying to train you to get you ready for varsity. Once you get to the varsity level, that's the big time. You're trying to get either a scholarship or something for your future if you're trying to take it to the next level. But a lot of kids don't realize it's 1%. Now, there are millions of kids who are playing football. So as a football dad, I know there's 1% out of those millions of kids who want to make it D1 because everybody wants to go D1. And with the NIL era, all that money, right? Because a lot of these guys are doing basket weaving classes in the open now. They about what they used to do back in the day. But yeah, man, it's just crazy.
You know the old joke too is like you spend all that time with with your kids. The dads do it, and then what was I think Cosby was the one that said is like, and they finally get on the NFL and they score the touchdown. And who do they say hi to?
Mom.
Hi, Mom. Yes. And we just went through Mother's Day, didn't we?
I know. We Mother's Day gets prime real estate in May.
Yeah.
And and a lot of people say that deservedly so. I mean,
I'm not complaining about that.
I mean, moms deserve their day and they get their weekend, but it's in May, and that's when kids are still in school, so they have time to make crafts and to devote time, make card stuff for your mom. They stick dads over in June, the thick of summer, school's out.
Right.
It's like we're lucky if we get, and not only that, but they lump us together
with graduates,
dads and
grads. It's right around the corner.
They make the dads cook
so
every Father's Day.
Makes some fathers feel like they're an emotional afterthought.
Right.
You know, like they're overlooked. You know,
they are. We are.
We are.
We get socks and underwear,
socks and ties,
ties,
tools.
Exactly.
Hey, we get the flipper with the tools for the grill. That's it.
Yeah.
That's the message.
Right.
Go cook. Go make those make those steaks, Dad. Go cook.
Come on.
Consumer data shows that Mother's Day annually brings in well over $34 billion.
Wow.
Annually, and while Father's Day only gets around 24. There's a $10 billion discrepancy.
That's a big difference, man.
That's a big
That's
gap
a lot of
between
money.
the two parental holidays.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
And you know, a lot of that, the patriarchy, if you think about it, the dad is usually the one that makes more of the money. So you think, well, hey, let's at least spend a little bit more on pops. But you ask any father, I know I was just asked the week before. It's like, well, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I don't know.
I know that's the thing too. We're kind of our own worst enemies. I'm actually notoriously hard to buy for. That's why I got this gator tie because I love the Gators.
You're easy to buy for like stuff
I guess
like that.
so, but I have every single thing with a Gator branding. I got a Gator scarf. I got several Gator scarves.
You're in Florida.
I live in Florida.
You're like my son. He's all a Gator fan. I'm the Nole guy. I'm the Nole guy. I'm the Florida State guy.
Go Gators. But yeah, I actually never worn this tie. I don't wear ties.
And
so I whipped it out for the episode, but I was like, I have this in my closet. I've never worn it, but I have multiple Gator ties, scarves, everything. But I'm not a very materialistic person. You know, I like experiences, like going to the Keys, going places, creating memories. My favorite gift that my girls have gotten me is this little ticket book for movies. So that it's like it rips out little tickets. There's about 30 of them in there because I just like watching movies, sharing movies with my daughters.
Which you, by the way,
dope,
people don't know you review
I'm a movie
movies
review
as well.
critics.com.
So we need to mention that.
And so, but I love it. Just sharing what I love with the people I love the most.
That's what's great.
And so, like, I'm thinking about like Father's Day movies that people would have watched over the weekend. What are some of your go-tos?
Before I go to that, I want to understand the ticket thing. So they'll give it to you. So they have to watch a movie with you, or
this is a non cell phone. They can't. They got to throw their phones in the middle of the floor.
I love that idea.
Because they just sit there scrolling. They don't get the impact of the movie. They don't know what's going on. They got questions.
So it's something they actually have to do. It's not like one free hug. It's not like that.
Exactly.
Crap. I hated those things, man. It's like, why do I have to have a coupon to get a hug from my kids?
I actually use this, and so they get one void because I'm like, hey, I'm going to use a ticket on this. So that means you got to put your phones away. We're actually going to watch this.
Yeah, I like that, man.
And I got that for Father's Day every year, and I still have a time because the other thing is like I don't have the time really to devote it, but I'll put one out there, and I showed them Good Will Hunting.
Oh wow!
These are like,
but it was a good movie though. I mean,
it's a great movie.
You got to pay attention to it.
Well, they're on Instagram now, so they're seeing like reels, and some stuff they get spoiled. You know, like The Sixth Sense. I want to show it to them, and they already saw it.
Know.
Yeah, it's online. That's what I'm saying.
Right,
so now I'm like in a race to get these movies that I want to show them.
That's dope, man. I like that.
So I believe the question was asked, my favorite gift or like something that I appreciated.
Yeah, something you got.
I think one time my kids now they were older at the time, and my daughter was still living at home with me, and my youngest son Brooker had just moved out, and he was living with his brother Carter. But they all pitched in and bought me an Xbox because I had just gone through my divorce and everything. And they said, "Dad just sits at the house all the day." And I love Red Dead Redemption, so they did that, and they also got me Red Dead Redemption. So that's why I started to play it all the time. And I still actually have that Xbox. I'm never getting rid of it. I don't care if it's like
That's nice, man.
If it doesn't work anymore, which now everything's converting over, you have to play online. Yeah. I'll keep it no matter what. But that's my second love language is gifts. If you give it to me, I don't care what it is. Like, I'm going to keep it. But I have to give this tie back.
Right. So you do love gifts because there's been a shift in gifts for Father's Day from the traditional ties and tools and grill and personal grooming to experiences.
Was that what that meant?
Yeah.
You kind of freaked me out there. Okay, because that means something different on Father's Day. From Mom.
I wasn't going to say anything. I was going to get like, okay.
I jumped over. James, your favorite.
No, man. You know what? Here's what I want to say. Sean and Skylar, please listen to what you just heard and stop giving me Cash App requests as gifts for fathers. That's all I need you to do. It's like, golly, every time I turn around, I'm seeing a request. I'm like, where'd this come from? I need some money for this. I'm out with my friends.
Just put a pause for the weekend.
Oh, my gosh, man. It was crazy, bro. But, it is what it is. They're kids. They're having fun. So, I don't mind. But we're constantly, like, training. And the kid does boxing. He does track. He does speed class, weightlifting. We do other training. He has a linebacker coach that he goes to and all that stuff to get him prepared for his last year. So.
Do you know, I think you were there, Travis. I held... I call him Little Man, Sean.
Yeah.
I held Sean. How old was he on the show?
Oh man, he was like
just newborn, right?
2 or 3. No, I thought he was like 3 years old when you had him at the desk.
Well, eventually, no.
When you first, he was brand new.
I used to hold this kid like that, and now he's tall. Little man,
6'2",
and he's 6'2", and I had moved away, and we had that party at my house, and I go,
unrecognizably
wait a minute,
shoot up.
I'm looking, I'm like, what are you? And that tells you, I mean, obviously it wasn't as fast for you because he's growing up, but that's really what happens a lot.
It moves so fast.
All of a sudden, you're like, what happened to that little kid?
Man, I just pay for shoes now and cleats and equipment. So,
well, take me back to the beginning of your fatherhood story. Like, were you there in the room? When
no. The first time with Carter, no.
Yeah. I was talking about conception.
Conception, you were there. You held the camera, I think.
Right. Oh, yeah. It was one of those white
It was so old. I was 22 years old.
Oh, wow.
Carter was breech, which means he was upside down. His head was up at the top, and they were waiting for him. We picked his birthday, though, because they're like, well, he hasn't turned yet. And they go, if he doesn't turn by Saturday, we'll have it. I go, well, can we have it on Monday instead? Which brought us into May after that point.
Okay.
So I kind of felt like I gave him his birthday, Yeah. Anyway, but and they were like, well, we're going to try. And they had me in there, but I had me behind the blanket. And then my wife was like, I can feel it. And they go, all right, we have to put her under. You got to go out. So So I was in there at the very beginning for the first one. All the other ones I was there for. Yeah. Conception to the end.
So that was an emergency C-section or just
it wasn't an emergency. It was like they were going to do a C-section, but they thought that she would be knocked out to where, she wouldn't be knocked out. Like she wouldn't feel anything. They gave her an epidural. So then she kept on feeling it. So they were like, hey, we have to put her under. And so you're going to have to go out once they put her under. And then, so I'm waiting. We didn't know what we were going to have. So I didn't know if it was a boy or a girl.
Oh, wow.
So it was just like the back in the 50s where the dad is out in the lawn.
Smoking the cigars.
Yeah. What about you? Were you there?
I was in the room. It had to be an emergency C-section. Not necessarily emergency. Just wouldn't dilate, I guess, enough. Okay. So they had to do that. And that's something you can't unsee if you've seen that.
Amen, brother.
They did have the curtain up, but I'm like, it's all my wife's insides are outside. And I'm like, wow. And she was, doped up, but I was able to cut the cord and, hold her.
That's cool.
And then I got out of there.
You left.
I kept the cord on my daughter. What about you? Were you in there?
I was in the room for all three, from conception to the end. Look, the first one, Sean's big head ripped his mom, so I had to be there for that one. Then the second one with my daughter, then my middle child, Skylar, she came out. Both were vaginal. Now, the crazy thing about it is, with Skylar, we were actually in a some sort of promotional marketing material for Governor Rick Scott. Okay. His wife was there. She came to Winnie Palmer. We took pictures and stuff like that. They nominated us as the family and stuff like that. I think I remember that. You tell me. So we had that. Then with my last one, her mom had it C-section. She had to get pulled out, and they burnt the end, so she can't have any babies no more. What? Now we're not together. I'm still got to be careful with what I do.
God,
okay. I'm not in that game anymore. You're still in the game.
I still got bullets in the gun.
I'm still wearing 2 condoms from the 3rd episode. Do you need some?
Nope. Well, I don't want to do it. I have a weak pullout game,
but that's hilarious. We're not going to do it on this episode, but we have to have what happened when I got my vasectomy.
Vasectomy.
Yeah,
oh wow,
it was hilarious.
But you said that didn't really hurt.
No,
I mean, it was that's a lot of people are afraid of.
I think every couple, the man should do it 100%, because what women have to go through to not have babies anymore is 10 times as worse as what a guy. I mean, it's an afternoon, throw peas on your crotch and watch basketball all weekend. That's all you got to do for the.
So not painful at all.
No, not at all. Not at all. Just pay attention to what they tell you to do and what to shave.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Wow. You have to shave. They don't shave you. You shave yourself.
You're supposed to. But you should probably pay attention to what they tell you to shave.
You grew yours out, didn't you?
It was the most embarrassing thing. But it's not for this episode for us to talk about. Right? So, because I don't want to go the track. You know, being a dad is, and I say this all the time, and it sounds like something that you just are supposed to say, but it is the best title in the world, man.
Yeah,
and in the world. And it grounded me. Yeah. I was I think being a young dad at 22, and had I not, I think I would have been that much more of a screw up than I think.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I got to be centered, man. Mm-hmm. I got people I have to worry about.
Absolutely.
Now. I made plenty of mistakes, but imagine if I didn't have them.
And now your kids now are older than you were when you had them, right?
Yes. Yeah. My oldest is 33 right now, and my youngest is 26.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I have a bonus son with Enzo, and he's 15. But 26. When I was 26, I had, I think, 2.5 kids. Yeah.
Oh, word.
I can't imagine.
At that point. So at 28, I had 3.
But in my 20s, I didn't think I could have kids.
Yeah.
I was reckless. Let's put it that way.
What do you mean?
College football player, very reckless.
You're like, I can't believe that nothing's happened yet. Kind of, you can't believe. Okay.
I had a couple of scares. Well, she's like, I'm pregnant. I was like, nah, baby, it ain't me.
Oh my God. You are the father.
Nah, baby, it ain't me.
Do y'all remember the moment you found out you were a dad?
I was on Maury Povich.
Let me open this up. You are the father.
That was James. I do. I got home and my wife told me, and it was thrilling because we were trying, you know.
Oh, okay.
I was 30 when I became a dad, and then we had another one a couple years later. But yeah, it also had to be a C-section because once you do it,
right,
you know.
Yeah, I think depending on the way they do it, right?
Yeah, but we also got to schedule that birthday also.
It's cool, right?
Yeah, it's cool.
Kind of weird.
Yeah,
I was in a weird situation with my kids.
Yeah.
My wife is like, yo, I have the summers off. I'm a teacher. Mm-hmm. So we have to do it around these dates to ensure that it's consistent. Yeah, man. What Sean and Skylar, we had a certain a certain time, and we were just going at it in order to make sure she was pregnant so she can be off in the summer.
Yeah, when they're ovulating, you got to track it, and we had a whole tracker on our phone.
Yeah, I went through a lot of sacrifice. Yeah. There were times I didn't want to do.
Oh, yeah, but you took one for the team.
Took one for the team and just perform my manly duties,
I think
duties.
Being young, I'll go ahead and say it, being young and stupid, I say that, and I don't want my kids to ever hear me or think that I felt like this way, but I was like, well, I'm married. When I get pregnant, we'll get pregnant. And, you know, that sort of thing. Because I wanted to be a dad really bad. And I think my wife, at the time, I think she did a great job in raising them as young kids and that sort of thing. And just she was a stay-at-home mom the whole time.
Yeah.
But to me, I was just like, how am I supposed? I was scared.
Because you're young. You're still, I was 22, dude. You're kid yourself, basically. You're still figuring out
in the
stuff.
control room.
But then you still had examples, right?
Yeah, I had a great dad.
Right.
Yeah,
so you had example like what to base it off of. All right. So this is what my dad did. This is what I don't want to do, or this is not how I want to be with my kids. So you still had a great example to go off of. So I know it was a scary time. Me, dude, I've had kids, watched kids my entire life. For me, it was like, here I go again.
Because like growing up, you had to babysit.
I was a babysitter growing up, man. So changing diapers, easy. Feeding them, easy. All that stuff, man. I just got tired.
Do you still remember how to do that? I mean, there's a period.
Change a diaper?
Yeah, when I was in the zone, changing diapers, swaddling a baby. Okay. Remember how to swaddle?
I'll tell you.
A little baby burrito.
Okay, I'll tell you the biggest thing that I never knew.
Yeah.
And because there is a difference between changing a boy's diaper and a girl's diaper.
Sure.
It's the cleaning method.
The wiping.
How to do what I'm talking about. There's a certain way you got to wipe. You can't go there, and never. It didn't even occur to me. I'm like, that makes more sense. I don't know why I never thought about it. And I remember my wife at the time was like, yeah, you idiot. I go, oh,
you're making it worse.
But I remember that being a very learnable moment.
Yeah.
So
but you weren't afraid when they did the whole snip down there when he got the kid?
For the vasectomy?
No, not the vasectomy. When he did
I hated the circumcision.
Yeah, man.
At the time you're like, well, yeah, you're supposed to. I am. So everybody else is, and I felt like, wow, I'm going to put all this pain on my kid.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, you're going to do it. It's going to be done no matter what.
Yeah.
But I was 22 at the time. I thought that's what you were supposed to do. And I thought it was like a health thing. And if I did it ever again and my wife didn't want to do that, I'd go, all right, fine. But
look, man, I tell Sean all the time, you're lucky you have a dad like me because I was watching like a hawk. I had a conversation with the lady 3 different times. Like, okay, how are you doing it again? Are you going to make sure this is cut off, not this cut off? And I was in the room when it happened. I was looking at her like, make sure you don't make any mistakes. This is my kid. So his future wife, you're welcome.
So, Mitch, you were talking about the wiping being different for girls and boys. I'm a girl dad, so I don't know. I don't have a son. What would you say is easier? You have a girl and a boy. You having a girl and a boy.
Yeah.
What's easier, raising a girl or a boy?
For me, boys, 100%. 100%. James?
Yeah, man. My daughter is temperamental, man, and she hits like a dude. She pops me in my arm sometimes. I'm like, what the?
She'll punch you.
She'll punch me in my arm. Dad, boom. I'm like, what the?
What makes boys so easy?
I think. Let's say if you had twins and you said, all right, they both said they were going to go out and go do something. The entire time, I'm going to be thinking, be worried about my daughter because I was once a boy and I know what happens with boys.
Sure.
And I think
it's more of a threat.
It's a threat, yeah.
Right.
And you think that they're more fragile sometimes, and so that's the reason why. And you wanted her. I wanted her to have her independence and understand to make her own choices and everything. But I'm like, just make the right choice. And I think she and I have a really good relationship. I would hope that she would agree.
Come to you. Yeah, I to be honest, I'm looking back on it just because the question. I know what the boy is what he's thinking. We already know what mistake. We already know what mistake he's going to make before he makes it, and they just fall into the trap. I'm like, dude, don't do that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, Dad. Next thing you know, what happens? Then I just tell you not to do that. Right. It makes no sense.
You can read their mind
because we've been there. We know, so it's kind of easier with them. With girls, are kind of like, oh, what are you about to do now?
Yeah.
I was like, I'm already bald. What else are you about to do to me now?
Do you think, Trav, that your girls were like, oh, you don't get it, Dad. I'll go to Mom about this. Do you ever get that sort of thing? Or?
Sometimes for some things, but I feel like I have a really strong relationship with them, and I've instilled these values into them that I can trust them out in the real world, and that's kind of what you want to do as a dad. You want to get them to a point where they don't need you. You want them to still want you in their lives moving forward, but they don't necessarily need me because I've planted those seeds, and I can trust that they're going to make the right decision. They're not going to mess around with the wrong crowd or get involved with a guy that I wouldn't approve of.
Right.
So hopefully that's
they know. Yeah, I think that's if you lay down the groundwork, and I think kids ultimately first I feel that they want rules. They really do want rules.
Yeah.
And
Structure,
and they know. All right, and they have to kind of gauge like what kind of punishment I get if I break this rule. You know, and they have to. And what's wrong with that? In life to understand that. It's like if I know if I steal something, I'm going to go to jail, that sort of thing.
Did you guys spare the rod or just spoil the child?
We tried the timeout thing for a while.
Really?
And never worked.
It never worked. No. I honestly, I think he got spanked once. Skylar really got in trouble. She got spanked once, but after that, it's more or less the look and kind of like I yell from time to time, like, "What the hell?"
Yeah.
doing? Like,
Not for my girl.
I come from a long line of yellers, and I have 2 girls. I maybe spanked them once each, and I felt too bad about it. It's like it wasn't effective.
You're right, and they also there's an age, Travis. I'm sure your daughters have already come up to it.
Yeah.
Where they start crying, they like if whatever, and you're like, all right, you just give up because for me at least, and I'm like, okay, don't cry, stop crying. What do you need to do? Whatever it is, stop crying. I don't think I've ever spanked my daughter. Now that I thought about this, I do know once they got around 10 or 11, my best friend Aaron, he owns a cabinet shop, and I went up and I made this paddle, right? And the thing was about that thick, right?
I remember.
And I called it Redemption.
Oh,
and I carved in there, but all I had to do was
wave
show
it
it.
around.
I never used
It's
it.
a deterrent.
Yeah.
I would make them. I go get Redemption.
Okay.
And they're like, no, Dad, I'll do it. What do you need? I go.
Oh, wow.
Never used it. I swear.
Yeah, it's like the guard dog sign on the outside. It just keeps them in check. Did you guys get spanked as kids?
So that's what I'm about to say, man. As a kid, so that's when you're talking about doing things differently for your kids and how the way you were raised.
Right.
My mom, man, dude, it was belts, switches,
dude.
Yeah, man. I remember one time getting in trouble so bad. Like she whooped me, and I was standing in the hallway, right? So we used to do that, squat and all that stuff. And I'm sitting there, and like she hit me with the belt, and I didn't move, right? No sound or anything. I guess I got used to it because I was in trouble so much. She was like, "Oh, you think you're a man now?
Yeah.
Oh, you want to pay bills around here? Oh, okay." Then she went even harder. I'm like, God, I was screaming.
My
for
dad
my life.
would just crack the belt, like crack, crack.
Where you make the loop up, you push it together, and then pull it out.
Just the sound would get us. Just like a
really?
deterrent.
Yeah.
But no, I did get switched too.
Okay, we had a willow tree in our backyard. And you had to go get your own switch.
Yes, you had to pick the switch.
Take the switch because Mama
Pick your
didn't
pain.
care.
There was no good choice.
I remember I would make my dad laugh before he'd spank me.
And me too. I think that's how we got so quick to diffuse the situation.
Yeah, like right before he's about to hit me, I go, yeah! And he would start laughing, and he couldn't.
I believe in you, Dad. This is going to be a good one.
But you know what I mean? A lot of parents don't want to pop their kids.
No, they don't. And it's really, the spanking is really more about their lack of self-control and their heat of the moment anger. So if you can diffuse that, then I think that you make them realize that, like, why am I actually doing this?
Yeah.
Just making it worse.
You say, listen, there's repercussions for everything you have to do.
Yeah.
And, you don't want to do it. I have no problem. There's a difference between spanking and beating, and I think you should never use your hand. I think it should be a switch or a belt or whatever. So or redemption.
Put a boxing glove on.
Or boxing glove. That's actually a good idea. I'm writing that one down.
No, I used my hand with Shy because he almost set the house on fire. He took his nightlight and put a quarter between a nightlight and the plug.
Right.
And there was like a big flash. Everything went out in the house. So I'm like, what the heck? I smell something burning. And he's in the closet.
He knew he did something.
He knew he did something wrong because he saw the flash. The wall was burnt. He saw it was a big flash, and I'm like, dude, what the hell are you doing in here? It's like,
No, I mean, I think maybe sometimes I deserved it though, looking back, because me and my brother got up to some dangerous stuff like that too. Like I got stitches all over my body. We were injuring ourselves. Yeah.
Were you a snitch?
Yeah.
Like my brother did it. He did it.
I did. I did stitch on him, but then I got the stitches. Yeah.
I think that as you get older and you realize there's an age eventually that doesn't work anymore, spanking or whatever.
No,
but it just, I feel it's important to have a kid to know that there is repercussions, and sometimes that I have no problem. I think you should not spare the rod. It's a difference between beating and spanking by all means, right? So we'll leave it at that before we get in trouble.
What scares you as a dad? Obviously, you want your kids to be safe out in the real world.
And I'm not going to bring this down. The biggest scare that you'll ever get is a phone call after midnight. Yeah. Okay? And I've had a situation like that, that sort of thing, because you have no idea what's going on. Mm-hmm. So outside of that, I think it's just that they're in a place where they feel that they they couldn't come to you.
Yeah.
Like, all you had to do was call me and we'll figure it out. And I learned that, unfortunately, too late.
You're right.
Telling them, saying, hey, look, if you're in a situation and you need to be bailed out, I'd rather you call me.
Absolutely.
And
you're not going to get in trouble. But they worry about repercussions,
Right. I think so. And I just said we'll deal with it later. I didn't say you're not going to get in trouble. Because if you did, I just robbed the bank, Dad, come pick me up. But just realize, listen, you need to deal with sort of things. Yeah. And I think that would be the biggest fear, is that they didn't feel that they could come to me. I guess that'd be what I'd say. What about y'all?
I get worried. I think so much about every holiday, every Father's Day, Christmas. I think about how many more I have of those left while they're with me, because I still got them at home. Right, They have an empty nest, so that's kind of what I'm afraid of, because they're their own persons. I don't own them. They're their own people. They have their own personalities, their own friends, their own networks, and that don't include me necessarily. And so they have distractions, that school and sports and friends pulling them away from me. And selfishly, I want them kind of to myself. I just want to, hang out with them as much as possible while I have time.
And that's what you should do.
And that's what I'm afraid of with that as they get older, and then they just kind of move further and further away.
But then you realize, well, they need that.
Yes, absolutely.
But I think the core is still there, that they'll come back.
Yeah, man.
That's a fear. What about you, James?
My thing is, I just want him to live in the moment. Sometimes I fear he doesn't live in the moment. Like we were talking about earlier about our interaction. He has a totally different upbringing where he can speak to me. We talk, right? So we have that open line of communication, opposed to his grandparents, where my mom's like, "This is what it is. Yeah. That's it." In the conversation. So. He has those opportunities, but my only thing is I need him to be more wary of his friends and understand and how to recognize when people are just hanger-ons and they don't mean you any good, and understand I know that when he goes on to college, it's on him. Like I tell him, it's like, you get this opportunity. It can't be me waking you up every day. You have to take that responsibility, wake up, be there on time, be ready to work. But you also have to be careful of people who are around you who are just hanger on because they see you doing it, or they want a piece of you, and they're planning something nefarious because of what and who you are. So outside of that, man, if the kid is being a kid, man, just let them be a kid.
And that's the thing too. I want my girls to be kids as long as possible too. Like we went trick or treating, and some parent was denying my kids because they were too tall, looked too old. What? Candy, I'm like, give them the candy.
Right, it's a piece of candy.
And
dude.
They want to be out there. They could be doing people other stuff. It's like they just want to trick or treat and be kids. Yeah.
See that's the house that gets the eggs. Because, I'm sorry.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to say, all right, don't worry about it. Let me show you what Dad used to do.
They only get so many Halloweens that they actually want to do that. Let them be kids while they can be kids.
Hey, man, that's why you got to go to the rich neighborhood so you get the full bar of candy. The mini pieces.
I know.
I got to eat 5 of those. He go 1 bar.
That's funny.
But you talked about instilling motivation and intuition in your kids too, and being present. I think that's great advice for dads too, to be present.
Oh yeah.
What advice would you guys give dads, like rookie dad?
I would tell them, like you just said it, be present. What my kids have seen from me is that I'm always there, from elementary to middle school to even high school now. The only reason why I became a coach is because he finally got me to agree to allow him to play football. So the teachers know me. I've hosted events. I've been an MC for a lot of stuff, especially in the middle school. I've been around a lot. So everyone knows me, and they see how I am with my children. So, just be present, be willing to listen more than speak, and understand as a young father, you have a long way to go. You have a lot to learn. Yeah. So you don't think you walking in this knowing everything. Be willing to learn, and don't keep a tight rope on your kids as they get older. Because I think a lot of kids, because of their dads, are so afraid of, the world is this and that and the other. When they get to college, they go buck wild. Yeah. And I've seen that. I went a little buck wild too. But you can't do that. Allow them to be themselves. Allow them to have their own opinions. Allow them to speak in a respectful way, and go from there.
That's like that 38 Special
38
song.
Special. Hold on loosely. Man.
But don't let go, because if you cling too tightly, you're going to lose control.
You're going
to lose control. That's a killer guitar solo.
Wild stuff.
There's a lot of southern wisdom is where that comes from.
Absolutely.
I think mine would be just teach them, and I don't know if this is necessarily advice, but I felt like the core of what I have in my life is teach responsibility. You do something wrong, just take responsibility over it. You did something right, take responsibility over it. Yeah. And I think that will eventually lead to a lifestyle of where they will be responsible for their kids and their actions, and realize, again, repercussions for everything. So that what would yours be?
I believe the children are our future.
Oh, wow.
But that's an original Travis.
Some people say treat them well and show them a way.
Let them lead the way.
Let them lead the way.
Yeah, I like that. I love it. it. Love it.
It worked great for Whitney Houston.
Show them all the beauty they possess inside.
Sexy chocolate, ladies and gentlemen.
Give them a feelings of pride.
That boy's good.
The issue with what we have as dads is that, and dads all together, usually on every commercial, at least I know in the late 80s, 90s, even 2000s, dad was this stupid guy.
Right.
And it was always labeled as such. But there's been actually good dads.
No, like on TV, we talked about a dad that you would model after. A lot of men don't have dads, and so they look to the television, entertainment, movies to find somebody to model after. And there's some big ones that we grew up with. Yeah. Some of my favorites. Alan Thicke on Growing Pains. Life Lessons. Bob Saget on Full House. What were some of yours, James?
Yeah, we were talking about Uncle Phil.
Uncle Phil.
Yes.
He was
Family
really good,
Matters
actually.
was Carl Winslow on Family Matters. The Jeffersons and Sanford and Son. You know, there are some great fathers, man. Yeah. Shout out to all the dads too. That because speaking of that, man, stereotypes are a mother son, right? Data shows that black fathers are in the lives of their children more than anyone else.
I know, but they weren't reflected that way until the 80s or until
I think Good Times.
Good John Amos. Yeah, that was 70s.
James Senior.
Bill Giver Appeal Cosby.
Yeah. Bill Cosby actually did not get enough credit still because obviously he's tarnished legacy.
I think almost we need to kind of differentiate between Bill Cosby and then
the character Cliff Huxtable,
because Cliff Huxtable was what I want to remember of how good it was. Yeah. And there was a lot of responsibility for him to play that role. He was
OBGYN. He was like a successful black middle class father.
And let me tell you, that family set this. It was like a standard, right, in the black community. But it also gave rise to a lot of spinoffs, including A Different World and so on and so forth. That show, that show, like, going to the next level, higher education. They showed all that stuff. Nowadays, you see, it's trash.
I'll tell you another great dad. Everybody hates Chris.
Terry Crews.
His dad, the dad on the he was great, and he worked like 3 jobs. And I think that's representative of what dads they want. That's how there's a generation that grew up was like, well, you just work and you provide for your kids. And then we were fortunate enough to realize that we have to not only provide but also be there for our kids, and it's not just up to mom to understand and give them those social values and an understanding of what family and responsibility
and
is.
These TV dads are relatable to audiences whether you're white or black, regardless of race.
That's true.
I was watching Cosby Show when I was young. And so online they separate these dads into tiers, different archetypes. So there's the general authority I mentioned. You mentioned Uncle Phil,
right?
Dr. Seaver, I think by Alan Thicke.
Right. Yeah, Alan.
Andy Griffiths, Andy Taylor, Sheriff Andy Taylor, and then Mike Brady from the Brady Bunch.
The only problem is we don't know what happened to Andy Taylor's wife. No. And they never tell us what happened to the Brady Bunch's ex-spouses.
Really? Oh, you're
right. I thought she was in that pond. Remember, he was going to the pond all the time.
See,
that's where mommy is.
That's the general authority that gives those life lessons. Then there's the selfless provider, which is like John Amos is from Good Times.
Right. Good Times.
Terry Crews.
Michael Landon's Charles Ingalls from Little House on the Prairie.
I would say that was
he
a guy.
Kind of set the standard.
Yeah. And and here's the thing is that was based off a real person too, because she wrote that her life stories and the struggles that they had to go through.
Yeah. And then a popular one recently, Jack Pearson, Milo Ventimiglia of This Is Us. Did you guys watch that show?
Yes.
He would do anything for his family, and then he passed that down to his son, Randall Pearson, played by Sterling K. Brown.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a really strong example. The Heart of Gold dad, Danny Tanner from Full House. We talked about Carl Winslow.
Do we know why he was single?
Family Matters. His wife passed.
Okay, but did they ever tell why or anything?
I believe it's cancer.
Wow.
Right.
We just.
No, it's just funny. Like,
we don't know.
Here's the thing: in order to be a good dad, you have your wife on TV.
It's a plot device,
right?
You bring in the funny uncles,
bring in the funny uncles, but you never really explain what happened to the ex-wife or the wife before.
Yeah, it's just like the everyday working man. You got your Al Bundys. Your Homer Simpsons, Red Foreman from that '70s show. So it's tough love but sarcastic humor. And then you got your goofballs, which is I feel like I identify with Phil Dunphy.
Phil Dunphy's first.
Ty Burrell from Modern Family.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watch Bandit or Bluey. There's a dad on there. It's animated dog cartoon.
Tell me about this, because I don't know much about it.
Oh,
Bluey is maybe one of my top 5 favorite shows.
My youngest is
phenomenal.
The Money Show.
It is hilarious and it's emotional also. It's a Disney Plus show from Australia. It's about an Australian dog family.
Yep.
And the dad bandit on there. It's like they're watching my life and then animating it and putting it on television.
Okay. Will I get put on a list if I sit and watch that off Netflix?
No, my God. It's very wildly entertaining.
Is it one of those like the adults get the jokes too?
Oh, yes,
okay.
absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's the children too. It's great for families to watch. But I want to give an honorable mention to Pedro Pascal, who's doing double duty as the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Grogu's dad. And then also Joel on The Last of Us.
Yeah.
Lately, he's been like the iconic. He's been a daddy, actually. He's known as a daddy online. Yeah, it's a different type of thing.
Oh, the ladies gave him that
That's
title.
why my girls don't call me daddy anymore. The internet kind of ruined it.
Yeah, it's kind of weird.
That and strip
it feels
clubs
weird.
name it too.
Yeah, it's. I mean, what do your kids call you?
Pop.
Pop. I actually started calling my dad Pop a few years back.
Yeah, I call my dad Pop.
Now, they didn't always call me Pop. Well, I think when they became a teenager, they started calling me Pop.
You don't allow them to use their first name at all, right?
Absolutely, positively
Why would
not.
they?
And I wouldn't answer them if they did.
Yeah.
You know,
They ever tried that?
if they did, it was probably to kind of joke about
Just
it.
to get your attention?
Here's what my kids. Now, you know, as I said, I have 4 kids, and I would Brooker, my youngest son, he would get this all the time. I would do that. I go. He go, number 3. I'm 3. I'm number 3.
I do that every day. Every day.
I say my kids all the time. I go 1, 2, or 3.
I'll throw my wife's the dog's name in there. I don't know. I get flustered and you start rattling off names.
3.
Which one are you?
Number 3. I'm number 3.
Yeah.
Oh my God,
that's great.
That's dope.
You start wearing name tags.
It got to that point, to where you know. Another thing that I had to do as a dad, if you would advise is when you have multiple kids, is put them all in the same color shirt when you go to Disney World. Because I am constantly looking for them all the time.
My wife used to put my kids in matching clothes all the time.
I think it makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it makes it harder when you 1, 2, or 3.
Did you ever do those leashes?
No.
Oh no, man!
They didn't have it back in the day.
We didn't.
I've seen them, but
I don't like it, man. It's like you're walking a dog.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm good.
One of my kids would be, it would be like walking a mastiff because he'd be pulling me because he was just everywhere all the time.
Multiple directions. Well, we talked about TV dads. What are some movie dads or some Father's Day movies that you guys could watch on Father's Day?
Man, John Q was a big one for me.
Denzel.
That gets me crying every time because the sacrifice he made for his kid.
Right.
Man, that's kind of where I am.
Ransom is an action movie. Mel Gibson. His son gets kidnapped, and he pulls out all the stops to try and get him back.
Oh, I'll tell you.
You've seen that one?
I did see Ransom, but it also reminds me about I got a particular set of skills.
Taken. Yeah, his daughter
Ransom
gets
and Taken. They think of the
those
one
are like
more
action dramas. There's Road to Perdition with Tom Hanks as a father-son drama. There's Boys in the Hood.
Yeah.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Oh man,
Furious
that
Styles.
was that hit home when I was younger.
Yeah,
that hit home when I was man because I grew up around gang culture, so I understood it more than anything else. We have tons of gangs in Detroit. In fact, one of the big ones is BMF, Black. Yeah,
what's that one?
Black.
Money.
You can think
they used to call it Black Mafia Family. They also called it Blowing Money Fast, and so on and so forth. They were big time drugs. Big Meech. A lot of songs are about him. He's finally out of jail.
Okay.
But in fact, his son portrayed him in one of the shows that I cannot remember the show. I think it was it's called BMF. What I'm thinking about. 50 Cent produced it.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's a big story. Everybody, Detroit is big, but it's small. So there's a lot of people that know people. But yeah, man, it's the Big Meech. Shout out to Big Meech.
You also got Atticus Finch, To Kill a Mockingbird, famous literary father. Those are the dramas. What about comedies? I love actually Mrs. Doubtfire.
Okay, Mrs. Doubtfire is a great
Robin
one.
Williams disguises as an old British woman just to be close to his kids. He goes through a divorce.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Hello.
He gets prosthetics. You got Harvey Firestein.
You want to be in this movie?
All the elements are there. I think that's a great Father's Day movie. But then you also got Big Daddy with Adam Sandler.
That's true. That was a good one.
Which he wasn't a dad, but he took upon his character took on the part of a dad and took care of this kid.
You know what? I'm gonna throw in there. Are we there yet with Ice Cube?
Oh,
and
that is a
Are we
funny
there
one.
yet?
And Donny Osmond, is that the one with Donny Osmond?
Was he?
No.
No.
I think that was a college road trip.
College road trip.
I don't know why I thought of that.
So didn't Martin Lawrence do a road trip story too?
That's the one, and Donny Osmond was in that.
Okay.
But it sounds like the same story.
Yeah.
Mine would be like Father of the Bride. Because I think it's Steve Martin.
That's a good one.
I think it's funny. That,
it hits you in the feels too.
Yeah, it does. Yes, it does.
But then
Parenthood.
I think Parenthood. I think the ultimate is Chevy Chase though. Clark Griswold.
There you go.
Oh wow,
that is one that my family loves. There's so many of the vacation movies, but Christmas Vacation is a staple for Christmas. But so fun. He's the kind of dad who tries to force the fun on his family, and it always goes haywire.
Because he wants to give them memories.
Yes,
it tells you so much about what memories. It wasn't about things. It was like I want you guys to because he had this great memory of going to a theme park, Wally World, and he wanted his kids to have that.
You know what? That reminds me of Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
Uncle Buck.
So he's not a dad, but father figure.
Yeah, man. Took care of those kids,
his
nieces and nephews.
Get a rat to gnaw that thing up.
Those are all John Hughes. He knew how to tap into that dad style.
100%.
Was your dad like that, going on road trips?
My dad loved it. Every year we would drive from Florida, from Orlando up to Kentucky near the Cincinnati area, because that's where all my family is from, and we would drive every single time.
That's a heck of a ride, man.
And you talk about 16 hours. Yeah. And you know what? One time we drove through Atlanta, and it was during the Atlanta murder killers where they were killing and I was so scared because we had to stop and get gas. I was only like 7 or 8 years old or whatever, but I was scared out of my mind, thinking that they're going to come and get me the whole time. And let's get back on the highway. But I remember that, sitting in the back seat of the station wagon, and my brother farting the entire way, and putting his boogers on me, and all that kind of stuff. I honestly miss those trips. I really do.
Yeah,
and I love road trips. So,
you do that with your kids though?
100%. They know that even with Liza and Enzo, I prefer driving instead of flying. And
really?
Yeah. It's cheaper, but that's the dad in it. But just to be on the road, you have an opportunity to talk. It's just getting them off those devices, because they're in the back. They just they zone out.
What do you guys want your legacy to be as a father? Like, what do you want your kids to remember of you? Maybe after you're gone, or when they're older.
Dude, that's deep.
Like your kids are, like I said, they're older than you were when you first became a dad. Do they start to get you more? Because I remember when I became a dad, I understood my dad more.
Right.
In fact, when I met my wife, when I fell in love,
and
you put someone else above yourself, someone else's needs ahead of your own, I understood what it's like to be a husband, to be a father. I started getting my dad more, and starting to understand some of the moves that he made in his life. And they weren't all perfect. None of us are perfect, man.
Right.
But I started to get it more. It started to click with me.
That's a hard question, man, because there's so much. I just hope he understands that the opportunities he's been afforded just through the sacrifice, that I've made, because I love him, and I want the best for him and his sisters. I love all my children. That he understands, or they understand, that nothing comes without sacrifice.
Amen.
And as you grow older, and one day he blesses me and I become a grandfather, that he understands everything that he's encountered or went through now, that he can take a lesson from it and apply it to my grandchild's life and be there for him, and bless him with the things I bless that he's been blessed with, because his whole life has been different than how I grew up. So it's not been perfect, and so on and so forth. I take risk, and I think that's one of the things he's going to do. He's going to take risk. But, it's the opportunity that comes for that. And I don't want him to live in a what-if situation. I think a lot of kids don't take enough chances to see how they can take themselves to the next level. So I am a big what-if guy. Don't be in a situation where you said, what if I would have just worked out a little bit harder? What if I would have just took the opportunity to move, move to a different state, or... That's what I did. I did move from state to state to state, took jobs everywhere, and just did what I needed to do.
It's easy for a dad to focus, look in the rearview mirror all the time, and focus on the regrets and the mistakes. And we've all made some. No one's perfect.
I made a lot.
As you do that, you live life looking backwards. You're tripping over your own feet moving forward. We're constantly moving forward. And so you're just going to keep making those mistakes. And the thing is, our legacies are not written yet.
Right.
They're not. There's still time to change them. And so I tell my dad that all the time, be present. Just be present is, I think, the biggest legacy that I want my girls to remember.
Yeah, that sounds like a theme here. I mean,
so we're always learning from mistakes of our fathers, and so we don't make them ourselves. But that's what I want them to know, that I was there, I tried, I loved them, and I wanted to make life fun. Because that's ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what I think this life's all about.
I think that's beautiful, man. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And you don't ever want to get to a point in your life where you wish you would have done that, because you feel like it takes a long. And I feel like because I admit it, I don't want my kids. I want them to be ready to have kids. Or I was just like, well, all right, I'm getting married. I'm supposed to have kids. There's no set way of doing life. Right. I'm on the back of what y'all are saying, but at least make the
effort.
An effort to be there and take responsibility and learn anything. I think that's what I want. I think my dad taught me to laugh a lot and be funny. I get my personality from my dad. Yeah. And I think humor has gotten me out of a lot of situations. And anytime me and my kids, like if things are tense or whatever, like when they were young, I would always try to end it with something, like I would say something non sequitur and make them laugh or whatever. One thing that I would do with my kids, and I felt like I did something good, is that, when you have two boys, you were probably like this. You guys, it's not like you hated each other, but you played a lot. Brothers, and you got mad at each other. Brothers get mad at each other. I would make them go and write a song. We're talking about like 7 or 8 years old at this time.
That's great.
And they hated it. God, they hate it. But my mindset, being in a 20-year-old mindset, I'm like, well, it's going to teach them to work together.
Exactly.
And then Sawyer, that's what he wound up wanting to do. He performed, like he was a singer and he was a rapper and all that kind of stuff, and he kind of followed that dream. Yeah. And I take a little bit of credit.
Right.
I made you guys.
It's a punishment.
This is how it always goes. First they have to write it, and I'd make them sing it or whatever. Yeah. But they had to perform in the family.
Oh wow!
And this is how it always would go. Sky is blue.
They toss it to the other one. That's your part. Do it.
You messed up. And then it would turn into where they would just start laughing.
And you're like, and one, and then two, and then three.
And I would advocate for that.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I make them do it all the time.
Oh man!
I wish I would have kept the papers that they were. That would have been.
That is hilarious.
That would have been a great thing to keep.
Are you guys looking towards grandfatherhood?
Yeah, man. I honestly, I am.
Which one of us is closer to it? I hope I'm far away from it. I'm looking forward to it, but not anytime soon.
I got some time. Man.
I just had this discussion with my wife. I mean, my daughter.
Hold on. Your oldest is how old?
16.
Then I would make me closest to it because he's 17 right now. Okay. So, but he's gonna hold off. And I'm not playing around. You better wrap it up.
Oh, dang.
Wrap
so
it up.
Mitch is closer between the three of us.
And I told my daughter, we were talking just last week, and I said, I didn't want to be the guy that's like, when you're going to have kids, because I don't want to push them to have kids, but I'm excited for them to have kids and be able to, and I want them to move from Oklahoma back down here to Orlando so they're around near me. And I go, you can have a permanent babysitter if you move down here.
System.
That's my way of saying you need to have a kid, but not making them.
Right.
And she is actually sure, Dad, it's going to be a while before I'm at Mom. I'm like, okay, well, all right.
But is that an opportunity for us to kind of maybe right some wrongs from the past and to like course correct a little bit, because now we've been through it with our own kids. Now we can apply some of that wisdom to being a grandfather.
It is.
As you get older, you learn more.
Right. But you're spoiling them and sending them back.
That's the thing.
My parents do that with all three. And then my mom and my dad watch the little one, so they're kind of acting like the little daycare. So they enjoy it because they weren't able to be here for the first two. Mm-hmm. So they moved down, and now they have the third one. My dad has only had boys. So he's loving having a girl. So, it is what it is.
Well, I think all in all, we all have dads. We want whether it's good or bad. I hope that my kids saw the bad and realized they didn't want to do that, and that makes them better. But understand that I was just doing whatever I was doing. Right?
I want my kids to be better than I am. I want them to have a better life than I have, and I think it should be the goal for every father, every parent.
Right, I think so. And I just realized something here is that. I looked over at our guy.
Even this father.
These guys are training to be fathers.
They are fathers.
This is like a full circle moment here. Except Mr. November. I don't think he ever wants to be a dad.
Is that a choir boy?
He should not reproduce this guy.
There should be no choir boys.
I don't think he has to worry about it. Oh, well, there you go, fathers.
The ultimate Father's Day gift.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Mitch.
Yeah, that's why I get it.
Well, dads, you're a good dad. You're a good dad.
Thank you, man.
So
you're a good dad.
And you got one.
I got one. You got one?
I got one.
I still got one.
They're called opinions. We have them all here on OPINIONish. We want to thank you for joining us. Every Wednesday is a brand new episode. Join us on social media. Just look for OPINIONish. Be sure to tell everybody. And we also love hearing from you as well. He's very Glenn Powell as a priest.
Right?
Like really, really good. That does it for our show. Y'all be good. Take care, and we'll see when we look at you. Bye-bye.